Hola, hermanas, and welcome to the very first episode of Hermana Hour. I'm your older sister, Olivia, and I just want to say I'm so happy that you're here. This is a space for the girls, the gays, the theys, and everything in between for us to just spill chisme, share stories, and talk about anything and everything that we want to because we can. So, a little bit about me. I'm 22 years old. I am pansexual. I am currently a psychology major at NMSU. I love music, anything that has to do with creativity or crafting. I am a really big spiritual person. I love anything that has to do with philosophy, and I love educating myself on anything and everything because I feel like we need to do that in order to grow as people. We need to never ever stop learning. So regarding the topics of this podcast, I am going to be discussing feminine things, older sister advice, um, the political climate of the world, honestly, because it needs to be discussed. I don't care if that's not something you're interested in. Feel free to click off, but I am somebody that likes to be politically educated regardless of where that is. I don't like to have a mindset of, oh, well, they told me that, so that's why I believe that. No, I have a brain. I'm able to learn. I'm able to develop things and my own ideologies. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So going forward, I just want to say I want this to be a safe space for anybody and everybody that feels like they just need somewhere to go to listen or to talk to. I'm going to be sharing a lot of my own personal stories, whether that's dates, just bad experiences, feminine regimens. If you want to have your story shared, please drop it below or DM me. I would love to read your guys' messages and to put them up so we can talk about them. That's definitely a segment I want to do, is to have some of your guys' comments or any of your guys' questions, and maybe we just do like a Q&A segment. Maybe I'll do that next episode. But yeah, I just really want this to be a get to know me episode. I just want it to be fully me, you, big sister, little brother, little sibling, whatever you are. I just want you to know that this is a complete safe space for you, and I'm so happy that you're here. So, for this first episode, I am going to be talking about big sister advice that I wish I had sooner. I am an older sister of 5, so I do qualify as like the eldest sibling ever, unfortunately. So I have been through some things. I know some things. I feel like I'm the typical older sibling. I never got in trouble. I did my best in school that I could. I never got in trouble for literally anything. I was always cleaning up the house, cooking, taking care of my siblings. So unfortunately, I do have the elder sibling syndrome. So I do feel like I'm a little bit qualified to talk about some of these big sister things. So, jumping straight into it, some big sister advice I do wish I had was combing your hair before you get into the shower. Especially if you are washing your hair. Like, if that is your wash day, you better be washing your hair before you get in. Get a comb, wash it out. And then, if you have curly hair, something I've been doing is doing my conditioner before my shampoo. I know you're like, girl, your hair's bone straight. Okay, this is an hour of straightening my hair. Unfortunately, from root to tip, yeah, it takes about like a little bit over an hour just because I do have really long, thick hair. But when it comes to hair, brush it out before you get into the shower. It'll make everything so much easier. That, and get yourself a shampoo brush. One of those little, I'm gonna put a little, if I remember, I'll put a little picture right here. Get one of these. It's literally so magical. It massages everything into your scalp, and then like, I'm from New Mexico, so my dryness and my oiliness literally varies on the season. So whenever it's summertime, my scalp is so dry. Like, I use the Dove I literally use that Dove dandruff shampoo, and it works miracles. Like, my scalp feels so good. Um if you are somebody that suffers with dandruff, I definitely recommend that one. I was definitely a Head and Shoulders girly for a long time. All right, my corneas have definitely been scorned by the fucking Head and Shoulders. That shit burns. If you've ever, oh. And then being a kid and then like having to share that with your sibling. No. That's a different level of, we'll get onto that. We'll get onto that later. But if you are somebody that likes to have not an itchy scalp, definitely also try different soaps. Like that's something somebody else should tell you if you don't already do this. If you know that a product is not working out for you, like hair wise, something like that, hey, try something else. When it comes to your face, it's a little bit different though. Because if your face is having a reaction, sometimes that means it's good. Most of the times that has happened to me, it's good. Your face is adjusting, your skin needs to adjust to the new product, especially if it is something that is a little bit like a harsher cleaner. I know whenever I first started getting into like witch hazel or like the glycolic acid, doing that type of stuff, my face was like, oh, I had little bumps. So guess what? I use it like maybe like 3 times a week before I do my makeup, especially like that, a good little toner. I use witch hazel every day though. Um, but I do that on my face, no little bumps. I don't have any bumps. I've been doing this since like senior year of high school. My acne is very minimal. You're also going to realize I'm going to jump around a lot. Hey, this is going to be a girl podcast, and I'm like 95% sure I have some like sort of undiagnosed ADHD. So we're going to be jumping around a lot to different things, but it's all going to be within the same topics. You know what I'm saying. Like you literally know what I'm saying. But like I said, you just need to find things that work out for you, whether that's through your hair, whether that's in your face, um fashion wise. That's what it's all about. That's what discovering life is all about, is seeing what works for you. Another big thing I wish was taught to me was don't sleep with underwear. You should be wearing some sort of flowy short, some type of nightgown. There's a reason why your grandma's wearing a nightgown. There's a there's a reason your grandma got 8 kids and wears that nightgown to bed. She said, bend that ass over, let that coochie breathe in that bed for a reason. And you know what? It's good for you. It's good for your body. It's good for her down there. And even if you ain't even got a toto, girl, boy, they get a momo. You deserve to feel the freeness. You deserve to feel that air between your crevices and cracks, because it feels amazing and you sleep so much better. You don't wake up with anything like feeling restricted. You're It's gonna be freer. There's gonna be no smell or no sense of discomfort. Obviously, if you are somebody that has a little bit of leakage, ha, you got that water part. That's right. Then maybe you should wear a little short. And if you need to wear a panty, it should be cotton. You know that. Don't be wearing no lace panties to bed. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you're wearing lace panties to bed, if you're, hey, if you are wearing lace panties to bed, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say that I know it stink. I know it stink, and I know you woke up itchy. I know you woke up itchy, and that thing was cooking. You have a fresh French bread in the morning is what you wake up with. Like, baby, that's diabolical. Hey, what did we learn today? Don't sleep in lace panties. Don't do that. Cotton only if you need to wear panties. If you need to wear panties. Even then, they have the wearable diapers. Like, even if you're on your period, girl, there's nothing wrong with that. If you ain't got a man, even if you do got a man, a girl, whatever, if your spouse or person is not with that, that's not your person. That is not your person, baby, because you're gonna be sexy in your diaper, you're gonna be sexy in your drawers, you're gonna be sexy in your moo, be sexy in whatever. But you need to be comfortable and you need to take care of that little cooter. Take care of that toto, okay? Take care of her. She's important. She's special. She's very, very sensitive, and you know that. So, care about your vaginal health. That's very important. Very, very important. This next one I feel like is taught, or I was personally taught to me, but I don't know if like everybody, hey, not everybody grows up with the same advice. Like I said, that there's a reason that I made this podcast. It's I want it to be big sister advice. Not everybody grows up with a big sister. I grew up with an older cousin, and she was the closest thing I had to an older sister, and we saw each other like every other 2 months, if that. But she was definitely like such an impact in my life. She's such a role model. Like she's literally what I thought like girlhood was. Like I would go to her room and it would smell like her perfume, and like she would have all her stuff and like her bras, like her makeup, like I just thought she was like the coolest person. Like she still is like the coolest person to me, and I'm so happy and I love her. And if you're watching this, Devin, I love you so very much. You mean so much to me. But like I said, this next, I just not everybody grows up with the same advice, so make sure that you're not putting a scented or a super fragrancy soap down there. If you don't know, now you know, shoddy, because again, that'll mess her up. That's not good for her. That's not good. That's not good health. That'll throw off your pH, and it'll literally lead to you dryness. It'll lead to redness, rash, anything and everything. Like just fragrance free. They have soaps. Hey, if you if you really need it, if she a little ripe, because sometimes she get ripe. Hey, if you're on your sometimes sometimes it be smelling like dog surgery, and you need to take a little wipe or a little something. You know, it's not you're leaking blood. Hey, you're shedding. You're shedding. Your insides are shedding. They have soaps for that. They have what's it called? That the box that TikTok soap. Don't make this an ad. That TikTok soap for your pH balance works so good, and it's so mint. It literally feels like she brushed her teeth. That's the only way, because it feels like you popped a mint. Feels like your Toto popped the mint. It's amazing. If you are somebody that like it happens, and some people are just way more sensitive than others, and they are prone to hey, some people are prone to BV, girl. Not everybody can help it. Not everybody's as clean as you, girl. Okay? Everybody's vagines are different, and that's perfectly okay. But what's not okay is to know that it's like that and to not take care of it. So that's another thing. Because bad hygiene of her can lead to other health issues, which is not good, which is also not good. Another episode, I want to talk about how holding things in can lead to chronic illnesses, especially as women. A lot of chronic illnesses or diseases are caused by traumas that are experienced and that are held in and that are not, wouldn't say cured, but that are not therapized, or that are not worked on in general, because we hold them in and we internalize them, and guess what, they turn into diseases, which is so sad and so scary. Like I said, we'll get into that in a different episode. Wash your thing with unfragranced soap, or special soap for it. They have it, antibacterial soap. Make sure you're not putting soap inside. Hey, I think we should know that already though. But yeah, it's pretty, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but like I said, not everybody gets that education, unfortunately. So if you are somebody that needs that, that's perfectly okay. I'm sorry, I was going off on a tangent about dirty coochie, but I'm sorry. Some people, hey, some people need the, if this wakes you up and you're like, I'm proud of you, because you know what, you do got bigger fish to fry. Okay. um but I digress. Love yourself. You're beautiful, regardless of the way your cooter smells. Just make sure you're aware of the way your cooter smells. Point blank. And that's all I have to say about that. All right, and then for the last topic, I want to talk about something a little bit less personal and a little bit more psychological. And I just want to talk about confidence in a whole. I think that confidence is something that definitely stems from your sense of self love. If you're not somebody that cares about yourself or gives yourself that sense of self respect, you have self love, um, you show up for yourself, it is not going to be easy for you to have confidence. It's not going to be easy for you to have a strong sense of intuition. It's not going to be easy for you to trust yourself in your own decisions. Um, and that is something that I feel like a lot of people are struggling with nowadays, especially due to social media. Um, we compare ourselves so much. They they have what I want. She looks the way I want. He has this. Like, it takes us sitting down with ourselves and having complete gratitude with what we do have and our health, um, our sense of living. My camera died, so I know I'm probably at a different angle. I'm so sorry. But hopping straight back into it, I just want to say confidence is not something that you can work on overnight. It's something that you definitely need to work on for yourself. Figure out if it's within your physical sense. If you don't like the way you look, ask yourself, is this something I can change within the next 30 minutes? Is it the way your hair looks? Is it the way your makeup looks? Can you do a quick tutorial to learn, okay, maybe let me do this? Okay, yeah. Is it something more interphysical, like your teeth, your body, maybe your health? Ask yourself, can I work on this within 30 days and possibly get myself to a better state? If it's an absolute, you know what, I want to go to the gym, I don't like the way I look. Set yourself small little goals like that. But if it is something that is honestly as as personal as your physical or mental health, maybe you should reach out to someone and ask, hey, what can I do to better it? Because doing everything alone isn't always the answer. And I promise you're so much stronger whenever you ask for help. You're not weak at all. These Don't let these stigmas make you feel like you're less than or that you should be struggling alone, because it's the complete opposite. That's what these people are there for. That's what these resources are there for. So take complete advantage of them, because you are completely important. You are wanted. You're you take up space in the best way. Your energy is needed in this earth, and there's if there's nobody to tell you that at the end of the day, you should be telling yourself that. You know what? I love myself because I show up. I show up for myself, I show up for my friends, I show up for work. And even if you feel like you can't do those things, you know what? You got up today and you got yourself through it, and that's all that matters. Give yourself small little achievements, these sense of gratitude. It'll make your day so much better. It'll make your life feel better. It'll make your sense of trust and love so much better. So just remember that you cannot have confidence if you don't work on your self-love. You don't have any sense of self-love. Journal. I don't know what's making me feel like this. I'm so sad. Journal about it. So many people want to post and talk and, oh, I feel this way and this and this. Journal about it. Because as you're writing, you're going to express and think about, oh, I was having a really bad day at work because of this. And, honestly, I think it kind of triggered it because earlier this past week, and things like that kind of help solve themselves out. You just have to find those outlets for yourself that work. And I promise when you do, it'll make everything feel so much easier, and it'll make everything so much lighter. Don't make your life harder for yourself. Make everything as easy as you can, but make it still feel worth it. Does that make sense? Like, obviously don't cheat yourself out of it, but give yourself the little level ups if you can. You're supposed to live a life full of gracious and love and everything that you know that you deserve. So give yourself that. Why are you depriving yourself of self-love? Does that make like why does that why is that okay? Why is it okay for you to expect love from other people but not from yourself? That doesn't seem really fair to me, honestly. And it's not fair. It's not fair to your boyfriend or girlfriend. It's not fair to your significant other. It's not fair to your kids, because then they're having to reap you trying to figure yourself out, and that's not fair. And that's how you end up with generational curses and your children having to fix that stuff for you, and we don't want that. We really don't want that. We just want to be fully healed, the best of our ability, to the best of our ability. And that's all we can ask. That's all we can ask of anybody, is for them to just love themselves, and for them to realize that they're doing the best that they can. Because if everybody was like that, I think our world would be a lot nicer and a lot easier, and there wouldn't be as much hate and discrimination and death and detention and all those other bad things that are happening right now. But that being said, I'm going to close out this very first episode of the Hermana Hour. If you stayed this long, thank you so much for watching this very first episode. I love you so, so much. If you enjoyed, please do not forget to like and subscribe. I am going to be posting bi-weekly. I am going to be trying to do a Q&A next episode. So if you have any questions or honestly anything you want to tell me, please put them in the comments or DM me. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching, Hermana. I'll see you next time. Bye!